The race for the Republican presidential nomination has two new contenders.
Yeah, KTLA's Aaron Myers is in the newsroom with details. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning. Former Vice President Mike Pence has formally launched his campaign for the Republican nomination for president. He is the first vice president in modern history to take on a former president with which he served.
I'm announcing I'm running for president of the United States.
He released this new campaign video early this morning, hours before his kickoff event, which will take place in Des Moines, Iowa today. Pence and his advisors see Iowa as the potential pathway to victory for him, believing his personality is a good fit for the Midwestern state. He previously represented Indiana in Congress and served as governor there as well. Iowa has often been seen as a launching point for presidential hopefuls. In his video, the former vice president says America is under attack and that the best days of the greatest nation on earth are yet to come. He also says the nation is headed in the wrong direction and blamed what he called the radical left. He wants to see a return to social conservative principles, saying different times call for different leadership.
Today, our party and our country need a leader that will appeal, as Lincoln said, to the better angels of our nature. I have long believed to whom much is given, much will be required. My family and I have been blessed beyond measure with opportunities to serve this nation, and it'd be easy to stay on the sidelines. But that's not how I was raised.
It remains to be seen how people respond to Pence, as according to the AP, a large portion of GOP voters still believe former President Trump's lies about the 2020 election being stolen. They also feel Pence had the power to reject the results of that election. Pence also faces quite the challenge with a crowded GOP field, which includes President Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who announced he was officially running for president yesterday.
And Donald Trump made us smaller by dividing us even further and pitting one group against another, different groups pitted against different groups every day. And now Joe Biden is doing the very same thing, just on the other side of the political divide.
Christie went after former President Trump and President Joe Biden while launching his presidential campaign at a New Hampshire town hall. The former governor and federal prosecutor ran against Trump in 2016 and lost, but did go on to become an advisor. He and Trump went their separate ways when President Trump refused to accept the results of the 2020 election. Christie has also gone after other Republican primary rivals for not directly challenging President Trump, something he seemed not to have any concerns with doing. The already crowded field is expected to grow today. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is expected to announce his bid, becoming the 12th Republican candidate. In the newsroom, I'm Aaron Myers. I'll send it back to you both in the studio.